What's going on, guys? This is going to be a pretty much a more in-depth series that's going to go on my TikTok, specifically relating about trading and that's a kind of psychology, but it's going to be a little bit more in-depth on this YouTube since I can, speak longer and people generally have a longer attention span. But I'm about to get a quick workout. I did trade this morning and we can recap that later. Peace.
Senta no revolve que eu posto no TikTok. Que é sucesso, tu vai ganhar. Que é mentira, tu vai ganhar. Mas você tem que fazer tudo que os faixa mandar.
Alright guys, workout's done. Did a nice little round. I'm not sure if you can see shit. Yeah, got some weight to lose. Trying 10-ish pounds. Bring it down to like 197. But that's the goal. Second thought, we actually have a work thing to do right now, but that's why I bring my work laptop just in case. So I'm going to bang that out before we start driving home. Alright guys, let's recap this trade analysis, not today, but from yesterday. So, this trade, as you can see, this is where I entered. Where's this cursor at? There it is. The 30, 50, 37 mark. I entered with 5 micros long, and the reason I entered this trade is because we're pushing past this fib level. Again, this is a trading view. I marked it out better in my trade of it, but this is just an overall analysis. Okay, so yeah, so I got in right at the 30, 57, 37 mark and exited at the 50, 57 mark. Now, why did I exit at the 50, 57 mark? Where is that at? Right there, right about here. Now, so I entered there, exited here, entered here. I entered this trade initially because I need to practice sizing down. And even though I sized just from NQ. So right now I sized in this trade with 5 MNQ because I felt it comfortable. I felt the sellers getting weak. So I was very comfortable with this trade, psychological wise. The numbers on the screen were not messing with my head, specifically because they were NQ or MNQ, so the numbers were much smaller. It was, well, literally half the size of an NQ, so that's been helping on my psychology. And I was able to hold it for a lot longer and let the trade breathe. Now, as you can see, I did exit pretty early into the trade in this whole formation, but that's because I was moving my trailing stop loss a little bit higher. So we broke this fib level up here, and I thought it was pretty comfortable that we could break down, but so I put my trailing stop loss a little bit below, and we did end up getting tapped out. That's okay. I ended up capturing 20 points, which it's not too much. It's $200, but that's a win. $200 is a win. This trade information to chat and the way that I trade, what factors I use, what my thought process was, and this was its overall grade. The result was an A. Risk behavior, A. Trade selection, B+. Trigger clarity was B or A, depending where I saw it live, and I would say it was a little bit of B. I feel like as you can see, I kind of top ticked a little bit and then got into some drawdown. I needed to probably wait for that first, for this candle to confirm again before getting in. That would have been a lot cleaner if I could confirm. If I got in down here or right here, would have been better. As you can see, we did flush down a little bit, but we did have this nice strong bull candle, and then we ended up getting an engulfing candle after an engulfing candle, and then we continued to press upward. So the only issue here is the entry. I need to work on that entry. That was a little bit jumping the gun on that entry, but again, we solidified $200 in 18 minutes. So you can translate that to an hour, so that's $600 an hour. Now, let's get into the theoretical trades. Theoretical trades, whereas I don't recommend copy trading streamers, but he was talking about regression channels, and I was looking at, the initial regression channel he was looking at was this one over here, and how it was kind of breaking this trend. So then I kind of pulled it over here and was looking at this. So I go into a short position on this regression channel. So as you can see, it went pretty well. My initial trade, the reason why I put it down here was I believe I had a fib sequence again on my trade of 8, which did end up going well, and I would have tapped out here, which would have been great. So that would have been according to chat, this trade would have been idea B, risk placement B+. The risk was, I feel like it was pretty good personally. You know, I put my risk above the regression channel in case it topped it, which it did end up doing that. If we can see right here, I put my TP here, down here, which would have been tapped because it's right below the regression channel, and I entered right about there, so it captured a decent amount of points. Was that 580 to 563, so 17 points. Not too big, but it was a theoretical trade on trying to learn a new instrument, or not learn, potentially add a new instrument into my trading style, just to get some more better confirmations on entries. So again, ChatGPT's overall verdict was the idea was a B, risk placement B+, target logic B+, trigger clarity C+/B-, which that I agree with. You know, I got in the middle of a bull flag and green flag right here, and then obviously I didn't wait for a break in structure. The break in structure would have happened way down here, which ironically was my TP. So this was actually kind of probably a lower grade trade. I probably rank it as a B-, but again, these theoretical trades would have been done with a single micro, so I wouldn't have lost too much money out. Use this bottom low over here, and then for this one, because that was the breaker structure I had was focusing in, and then I used this top fib over here because again that was the breaker structure for it to go on the downside. So as you can see, I entered. Alright, so this was again another reclaim sweep, or failed breakdown and reclaim. So I saw that there was a lot of a decent amount of resistance right about here, and it just nearly tapped the 382 level on this fib. So I got in right there. I felt like the sellers were weakening, just from, you know, market knowledge, more of just like understanding of how I view the market. So I saw the sellers push price down. Price failed to continue lower here. It didn't break this fib level at 236. I mean, it tapped it, got some liquidity potentially. Let's see if this will. Yeah, that's not gonna. There we go. So got in here. I could see that there is no. It did kind of tap. There was no fair value gaps for it. So the reason why I got into this trade is because I saw that there was no real fair value gaps to magnet it down farther in the 5-minute chart. See, this one got absorbed here, and then, or this green candle got absorbed here, and then this red candle got absorbed into there. So it really wasn't gonna. I felt sellers weakening. I didn't see a fair value gap that it could tap into. So the price was reclaiming, and target was going back into structure. So I, again, failed breakdown, seller exhaustion, a reclaim, and continuing back towards structure. So as you can see, I put my stop loss right below this fib level and below the previous candle low, the new low, which was down here. And I got in right about there. As you can see, no drawdown. I didn't get into any drawdown here. I put my TP up at the 35.89 mark, which is right below the, I kind of call it the mid-range, I guess, of these candle sets over here. So I just wanted to not get a, you know, be a dick for a tick, and, you know, put my stop loss just right above here, just to get like the top of these candles. I feel like that would have been greedy, and if you look at that, that would have been greedy. I would have much taken these wins. This was not the best trade because the entry was a mid candle, which is not technically bad, but, you know, I'm not waiting for confirmation. It's been a more aggressive trade, but that's why, again, I had a stop loss just in case something were to go awry. So this is ChatGPT's, again, trade analysis of this theoretical trade. A- thought, risk placement A-, target logic A-, trigger B+, strictly because he said it was mid candle. But again, if you did wait for this confirmation candle, we would have gone still a good chunk of change. But we got a little bit better because of the slightly more aggressive trade. 35 points. Yeah, that was a 35-point trade. Again, good win. And now for the final theoretical trade. The final theoretical trade, as you can see, was on market close. I would have gone in right here at the 35.84 mark. Put my stop loss right above this previous high candle, just because I didn't want to get too crazy on it. I want to be defensive on my profits that I already had. And as you can see, it did go up, but it did not break this level. So that was a win. And then you can see as it flushed all the way down. And the reason why I chose this level to flush down was because of this resistance level right over here. So we see that we have my take profit at the 35.34 mark, and as you can see, there's a nice resistance level right here, 35.34. It would have been a good flush downward, and it would have been a good level for the market to potentially bounce, in my opinion. So that's why I put it there. This is my quote-unquote what I would call a gamble trade. Tight stop loss, risk one micro, and maybe make it a couple $100 more a day. So this was a rewind. So this was my end of market gamble trade. Price push into an upper fib resistance of 35.85 and 35.95, and then you kind of rejected hard, but as you can see, we got here. That's why I put initially a fib level here. Again, on TradeAvate, I'm going to try and fix my trading view chart so that way I can be better tick for tack when I do these reviews. So I had level-based reasoning. I saw the resistance. There was Fibonacci confluence. The market close volatility. I was, it's either going to go up or down on market close. Again, it's partly kind of the name of the game there. But yes, this was a level-based probe, so it was just strictly a contained risk. So this was ChatGPT logic, was level logic B+, confirmation of C, risk potential B, if it was a micro only, which is that what it was. It says that if D was a full NQ, but I'm drifting away from full NQs because of bad habits. So again, it classified it as a okay trade. So time to review the overall session. I can probably do a full psychology video later, but this is obviously tailored to my own psychological issues that I struggle with trading. So this is what it said. I use micros instead of real trades. I had structure level markets. I was thinking in terms of fibs, session levels, regression, reclaim, and invalidation rather than dollar P&L. So I'm just respecting levels, not dollars. That's what's going to help hopefully me in the long run. Yes, it said that it was good for me to practice theoretical trades rather than actual use real trades, just to get more time under my belt. So, and also appreciate saying, would have this, it's a saying, the biggest improvement is that I am no longer just asking, well, this has just made money. I'm asking what type of trade is this, and is it repeatable, and I can go into my trading style a little bit later as well. So I owe you guys a psychology video and my own trading style. Again, kind of the trend, the theme of all of these trades was a kind of dirty entries, a little bit of a dirty entry style. See, it got in right there, and then I've got in mid-level here, and then again got in mid-level here. So that's 3 mid-level entries, not the best. So the overall trading style for this day was failed breakdown and reclaimed long. Gives me my most objective confirmation. I'm not predicting the bottom, I'm waiting for sellers to fail, and then I'm trading the reclaim structure, which is why these are longs over here. I went long, failed the reclaim, or failed the press downward, reclaim back up, failed press downward, reclaim back up, were the most beneficial ones. Overall, mentor verdict was that it was a good review day. The actual trades were solid. The theoretical side long was the cleanest, so this was its favorite trade that I had theoretically taken. The aggression short was valid. but also more anticipation. So I'm assuming it means this one and this one, this regression channel trend, and this one, but this is MOC, so it's kind of a whole different category, and it's on my personal opinion. So, yeah. So, its tip for this lesson is that before every trade, I should force myself. This trade is a X type of trade. So the final grade reading of these 4 trades, 1 real one, 3 theoreticals, is that chart reading B+, risk awareness A-, setup classification B-, psychology awareness A-, that's a real big one for me. Execution maturity B+, overall B+ with A-level self-awareness. So I'm just going to ask it like, what would have been the full theoretical P&L? Assume 2, just do 1 micro on theoretical trades. So I'm asking it, what would the P&L be if I actually took these trades on 1 micro? So I'm just gonna give that second to process. So this failed breakdown and reclaim long, which would have been, I believe this area right here, would have been 25.75 points, and that would have been $51. Our regression Fibonacci short would have captured 19 points, which would have been $38. And this final MOC fade over here, this final fade for the end of market, would have captured 48 points, which was $96. So it would have been a total of 93.25 points and an extra $186. So the total potential P&L would have been $389, which, that's a win, you know? Green is green, even though it's theoretically not green.